Right now I'm working on getting the retaining spring down. Let me see if I can just push this down by hand. These are the, I believe, earlier lighter springs, so the later springs were, I think, beefed up to make reverse a little smoother engaging. But these are the early ones, so that means less wear on the B3 clutches, which I've seen so far. But there's not a lot of tension on here. I'm going to see if I can push this clip down with my hands. That was it. That was it. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. B3 is all done under here with new Teflon seals, and now I'm on to this other one to reseal. I am replacing the B2 brake band piston in my 722.313 Mercedes transmission. I am upgrading it to the later version. On my left, I have the old version that came out of the transmission and its corresponding bushing. And over here, I have the upgraded 107 part number part with its corresponding nylon bushing. Now, what are the differences in these two parts? This one, I apologize, I've already disassembled it. I was just too curious. Here you can see there are 6 separate posts here, and this is where a retaining ring goes in for that big spring on the back here. So that's what the back of this one looks like. The upgraded part has 4 seemingly beefier posts back here. Same style though, the retaining ring and whatnot. I believe this is the same part on the old one too. So that's that. And then here you can see these holes here are recessed, whereas these come straight out. I don't know what the reason for that is, but the piston isn't the only thing that was upgraded. The bushing was also upgraded too. So this is the original, I believe it to be aluminum bushing that's pressed into the transmission. This rides like this. I can't get it to go on all the way because, as you can see, I've hurt that bushing a little bit by trying to remove it, but it goes in like this, and that, as you can see, is metal on metal, and there's some wear here. It's loose, so I believe this was sitting like this because there's some more wear on the bottom here, so it sits kind of like that just because of gravity. But that's how that sits, and over time, how I've heard this happens is this starts to wear, obviously, and then it starts to get stuck on there, and when it gets stuck, these snap. You have broken piston, and I believe that results in no drive. So that's the problem with the first generation of it. I believe there have been something like 4 revisions of this, but this is, I believe, the latest iteration because all the stuff is from Mercedes. This is the later one, so we got the 4 posts back there and the reliefs, and then this is the nylon bushing, which goes like that, a lot smoother. It's still a little bit loose, but I wouldn't expect this to wear out anytime soon. So that is the upgrade. Now I'm going to show you how all this stuff goes into the transmission. Here we are in the B2 Pistons bore, and this is where our bushing goes in. Just take your fingers and push it right in there. Slight friction fit, but fits in there just nice and fine. And if we take our new lip seal and push it in there, that's not going anywhere because this is actually metal just like any other seal, and that's going to hold that in there just fine. A lot of the force you're going to be using to pull this bushing out is going to be actually pushing this out on these ridges because this isn't in with much pressure or friction at all. So in terms of removal, you're going to use something like a washer. That's what I used. And what's going to happen with this washer is it's going to go in here like this. This is just an old hardware store washer, typical non-metric. I don't think it's metric. Highly doubt it. It fits right in there like that, nice and perfect. I got really lucky finding this in my toolbox, and I just put a couple washers on here with a bolt and came in from the other side like that, and then put a puller on here and just pulled it out. Nice and easy, a lot better than hammering or trying some other monkey method that's not going to work. Now, the wider diameter of this measures in at 31.90 millimeters. The outer dimensions of this washer are 31.68 millimeters, so whatever that translates into for SAE standard sizes, that's the size you're going to be looking for in the hardware store, and it is exactly 30 millimeters in here for the place that the actual piston rides on. So that's how you get that lucky fit in there, which is absolutely machine perfect. And that's how you're going to be able to pull the bushing and lip seal out at the same time. And that's how you'll do the upgrade. As you can see, I haven't done it yet, but that's how it's going to work out after you get everything cleaned up. I've had to alter the camera angle to facilitate the installation of the new bushing and lip seal, but a 27mm socket took care of the installation quite easily. So now there is no play in here with the bushing, and the lip seal is nice and flat there. So we can go ahead and install our new piston. Figured I'd remove this O-ring before I got started with the piston installation, just so you could do some preliminary cleaning in here. Don't want to install that piston with dirt. So this looks clean enough, so you get some ATF on that TEF seal and install this. Okay, so it looks clean enough, so I'm going to take our piston now that I've put lots of ATF on and stick it right into the bore. Let that lip seal, there we go. And there it is. Our piston is installed and moving freely, but nice and tight for nice gear changes. So that's all there is to it. All that's left to do is refresh that O-ring and install the cover. There it is sticking out on the back, and you're finished. Thanks for watching.